again, Rebecca here. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another guest design spot for Scrapbook Your Joy. I am going to be playing with the Rosie Studios This Is Us collection, scrapbooking that very funny 2 photos of my fiance stealing stuff from my craft room and wearing it on his face. I'm going to map my photos in 2 of the 6x6 paper pads. I've pulled out some elements that I want to put on the page. And I also have a whole bunch of mixed media today. So first of all, we are going to use some Nuvo drops. I'm going to show you those. They are going to be the crystal drops in Wedgwood Blue, the jewel drops in Aqua Plains, and the crystal drops in Ivory Shell. I am going to pull in some liquid mixed media as well. So I have the Nuvo Mica Mist in Fresh Pear. Yes, Fresh Pear, Aspen Gold, and then the Heidi Swapp Color Shine in Ocean. So I'm showing you those all right there. I also showed you all of those lovely chipboard frames. That is going to be what I'm mainly working with today. I have the Hickory Smoke Distress ink that I'm going to take my little blender brush and just blend it all the way around the edges just to give it a little bit of dimension to contain all of this mixed media. So today, this layout is for Scrapbook Your Joy. It is a online crafty store. There is also a Facebook group, which I'll have linked below. Now, Sandra, they host so many fun challenges every month or season, and this is for one of the challenges. So this is all about using chipboard frames. So now you will see how I use chipboard frames. Now, I know everybody has things in their stash that they find really hard to use. It can be anything. I find it very easy to use the frames, not like frames sometimes. So let's talk about what I'm doing right now. I went ahead and got all the edges inked. I take my Liquitex modeling paste and a little sponge that I cut into a wedge, grab my palette knife, and slop some of that onto my little sponge, and then I just pounce all over just to give a whole bunch of texture and dimension to the background. The only thing that is a drawback to this is getting things to stick, because it is going to be uber super textured and it's not all even. And I am just pouncing it. I just put some on there and then I pounce until it is a nice even layer, well, even-ish layer of mixed media on the background. So we are going to cut away. I do have to leave this to the side. I let it dry. It takes maybe 6 hours to dry, depending on how thick you get that. But I'm going all the way up to the Hickory Smoke ink line and just kind of overlapping it just ever so slightly. And just keep loading it up. So I want to talk about you guys going to the Facebook group and creating for the challenges. Please do that. Oh, they are so much fun. I actually did another one earlier this month. So now what I'm doing is I've got my little crazy splatty box. I take that Fresh Pear and I am just going to spray it all around the page just to give it a nice green hue, and it matches the color in this collection fabulously. Then I'm going to take the Aspen Gold and my biggest round brush, and I am making some super uber thick fat drops. I am just really sticking it in there, my paintbrush in there, and I even pull it off. And then I'm going to add just a little bit of more just so that I can get it to run and have some streaks of this Aspen Gold throughout. I just want it to be hints, because after we get everything on, you'll kind of see what I'm saying. Then I take the Ocean Heidi Swapp Color Shine, and I'm just going to do splatty bits all over. So I do sit this to the side and let it dry for quite some time. Run my paper towel over it just to pull some of that up so it's not so bold in your face gold globs. Splat a little more, and then it is almost done. We set it to the side and we let it dry. Then we're going to come in and we're going to pull out some of those embellishments that I have picked to use. It's done. It's beautiful. Let's cut down these fabulous pictures of my husband, because yes, I'm a lucky girl. I mean, who wouldn't want to be married to him, right? Probably just me. It's fine. Yep, cracking myself up. So anyway, you guys know, if you've seen my October daily video, you know you've seen this picture before. I hang out in my craft room, 95% of the time. I work in here for actual work, and it's totally fine. I work with it. I love it. Well, it is literally right off of the living room where my husband likes to hang out, lay on the couch and watch TV. So he can see me. He's, if I turn around from my chair, or just actually if I don't turn around, depending on what desk I'm working on. If I'm working at my work desk, if I turn around, I'm looking at him. And if I'm sitting at my craft desk and I just turn my head to the left, I'm staring at him laying on the couch or whatever he's doing in there. So he's a man, obviously. And you guys know, if you're married, have a boyfriend, whatevs. Sorry, guys, but men, kind of like big babies. And when they don't get enough attention, they're that kid who's getting in trouble because they need attention. So I was ignoring him working on my crafts this particular day. And he always comes in and looks around, and I kick him out because this is the type of stuff he does. He steals things. And then he does weird things. He wears them or he hides them. Reminds me of my dad. Quick little sidetrack on the story. Me and my mom, we own a flea market, and we rent booths and units to vendors, and we have our own shop. And my dad, we told him he's no longer allowed up there because he would come in, he would make up price tags that said free, and then he'd come over and say, there's 3 items in here that are free, but I'm not going to tell you what they are. And he would leave. So kind of the same thing that my husband does. Just needs attention, right? So you seen first, I went ahead and started throwing all these frames out and trying to find places for them. But I have noticed myself doing that a lot lately, where I start creating and I try to use everything that I make or pull out. And I end up really not liking the layout. So I decided, pull back, let's create a cute little cluster right here. So I start cutting the frames in half, and I'm going to layer them up under the photos as I've done. Now the bad part, fun part, I guess. I have to use a super uber amount of liquid adhesive, and I actually have to let it sit under some stacks of paper or, heavy things to let the glue dry and adhere. And I actually have to come back in and add more glue. And I do that all off screen just because it is super dimensional, you guys, and you see it's not sticking. And the art glitter glue usually adheres and sticks by now. It only takes about 10-15 seconds for that to grab hold, and it does not. So I let it sit for about 30 minutes with some weight on it. It is stuck. I do stand it upright, tap it several times to make sure nothing falls off, and it worked fine. So because I have the lift from all the frames, I'm going to take some fun foam here, and I do use the sticky side to go down, hoping that it will stick. I'm going to come in and I let that sit for a minute too with some weight on it, you guys. And then I come in and add glue on the top and, adhesive or dry adhesive. And I stick my pictures on there. And I absolutely love this. I cut a frame. I ran a frame off the top right and then just put the other little piece down at the bottom left just to add a little bit of interest to the layout. And then we're going to come in and we are just going to decorate this up. So yes, please grab your frames and create something and enter in the challenge. You could win some fun prizes. And also head on over to the shop. Just so you know, Scrapbook Your Joy is one of the only companies that carry Cocoa Vanilla Studios. If that makes any difference to you guys, it's very hard to find the Cocoa Vanilla Studios, at least for me in the States. So I know that I can always head on over to Scrapbook Your Joy and I can find that along with some other fabulous deals. So I do pull out these little houses and I'm popping them in, and there's all these cute little sayings, just about, oh, I love you, you're the greatest. Because, look at that. He literally sat like that for, a good 15 minutes, which for him, short attention span, that was actually pretty long, and I was pretty impressed that those little wood veneer glasses kept his interest that long. Yeah. I know. One lucky gal right here, you guys. I hope he never watches this video. Because you know what? Later on, he looks through the albums and he'll see the layouts and he's like, oh my God, I can't believe you scrapped that one. And I'm like, stop posing for me. He's like, but if I don't, then you take stupid pictures. And I'm like, live and learn, my friend. You got to take the good with the bad. So I'm going to pull out the gold word phrases and title this layout Grateful Hearts. I'm going to come in with just a few gold hearts and pop them around the layout just to add that gold in other areas of the layout. I do apologize for my rambling on earlier. It's just, men, they drive you insane. Actually, women too. You know what? Everyone. But my dog. She's awesome. So I pop those in and around. I'm going to take some of these cute little word phrases. I'm trying to stay away from the pink as much as possible. I do have the pink house, the pink dog, the pink saying, and then a pink flower up at the top because I wanted to use those pieces and the color I made it work. But I'm going to put some cute little puffy stickers in and around, and we are going to call this a layout done. So don't forget to head on over to the Facebook group, check out all the challenges and the fun inspiration that is there. Also head on over to the store and see what kind of fun deals, sales, and items that you can get. I am going to just come in with some Nuvo drops. Now you see I do go ahead and squeeze it off on my Glassboard Studio glass mat first, just so it doesn't splooge all over my page when I do it, and I will end up, and this, since it's so textured and crazy, I wouldn't be able to just wipe it back up, right? So I just squeeze it off to the side and then go to my layout. Now I did make some super uber huge Nuvo drops. That's because I don't use these very much, you guys, and I want to make sure that I can use them and they're on layouts. So that is going to do it for today. There's everything I used and some close-up of all that fun texture. I'll see you guys tomorrow with another video. Bye.